Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a bit longer. Again, I'm making the video in English, so if you are interested in Hindi videos, please head over to the playlist which is created in Hindi. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about different planetary states. It's not going to be something like I'm talking about planets in each of the houses. There will be a separate video for it. But here I'm going to focus on three major things. So, separative tendency that gets created in a Kundli and how to decipher that. Okay. The second is hemmed in condition, as in benefic planet is sitting between two malefics, then that will basically fall or can be considered as a hemmed in position. And third is planetary war. If planets are really sitting close to each other, there is another video on the conjunctions. Yeah, so these are the three things that I'm going to talk about today. Now, what what does separative mean? So there are four major planets which can lead to a separative tendency, and separate from what? So first of all, we can understand about those planets. So we have Sun, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. Now you have to understand Sun represents pride, Saturn represents pain, delay, or decay. That is what you can consider. Rahu represents illusion, and Ketu represents detachment, right? Detachment in itself. Now, what does it mean, separative? So, separative tendency, if let's say Sun, because of Sun it is happening, then pride is the cause, basically. Yeah. If it is Saturn, then pain, becoming detached with something, rejection, so that will be seen in a kundli in a person. Rahu, then it's more around illusion, imagining something as a bigger thing, but it's getting rejected on that aspect. Ketu, when it comes to Ketu, it's Ketu represents detachment. So if a separative tendency gets created because of Ketu, then there is going to be extreme negativity, introversion, and denial, right? Now, let's imagine a condition. How can it happen? First of all, if there is just one planet causing it, then there may not be much need of a concern. But we have to look at what all planetary conditions are getting fulfilled. So let's say Sun and Saturn are causing something, then it's a cause of concern. If Rahu as well joins in or Ketu as well joins in, then it becomes problematic, right? Because then it becomes much more evident. Now, if let's say you see it from a Lagna chart, but the same is visible from the moon chart as well, then the condition can be, you can be kind of very much sure that it will happen. Yeah. Now, let's take an example. So, if Scorpio is the ascendant lord, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If Scorpio is the ascendant lord, and let's say 12th house is, 5th house is ruled here by, it's basically Pisces, so Jupiter, and let's imagine Saturn is sitting here. So Saturn will be as aspecting this house. So you have maybe third house from Saturn is his fifth house, basically, and then you have, let's say, another condition where Jupiter is sitting in one of the houses. Maybe let's imagine Jupiter is sitting here along with Rahu, or Jupiter is sitting here along with Rahu. In this particular case, what happens is the lord of this house is again impacted here, right? He is in conjunction with another malefic planet, another planet that causes separative tendency, and then the Saturn is kind of aspecting it. If the Lagna lord is not well positioned, let's say Mars is not well positioned, then in that particular case there can be issues with respect to children, right? So that is how you can decipher it. So there should be multiple conditions that should get fulfilled. So what did we discuss? First of all, Lagna Lord is not positioned well. Saturn or Sun or Ketu is aspecting this house, right? One of the four planets that we discussed. And then the lord of this particular house, Jupiter, is sitting with, let's say, Rahu or Ketu. So multiple factors kind of, can come together, and that is how you analyze this. Okay. Second is hemmed in. Now, what does it mean? If let's suppose you have Venus sitting in a particular house, okay. Now Venus is, let's say, sitting here, and you have, let's say, Mars on one side, okay, and Saturn on the other side. Then what happens? Now these are naturally malefic planets, right? Mars and Saturn very strong. Now Venus is sitting in between. Venus being a benefic sitting between two malefic planets is kind of in a condition where it will not be able to provide good results, right? It's typically if they have very close degrees, let's say Mars is at 11 degree, Venus is at, let's say, 12 degrees, and then Saturn is at maybe, let's say, 12.1 degrees, right? So they are very close. In case Venus is maybe 20 degrees, or something where it is far away from exact point between these two malefic planets, then the effect can be lessened a bit, right? On the contrary, if let's say a malefic planet is sitting between two benefic planets, basically, or let's imagine Moon here, and then let's say Mars here, okay, and then maybe Venus here, right? In case something like this happens, then there are two benefic planets. Now there can be other conditions where Venus sitting in this sixth house may not be a good thing, right? But we are not considering that. What we are trying to see is malefic planet sitting in one of the houses, and then benefics planet on two different houses. So maybe let's say Mars sitting here, Venus sitting here, and then Moon sitting here, right? So how the result will look like for Mars? So here Venus positive, maybe Mercury positive, Moon positive, and then Mars as well positive. Yeah. So that is the second aspect to look at it. So you can kind of, whenever you are seeing a Kundli, you can just right away gauge which planet is kind of hemmed in, and then accordingly kind of adjust your results and reasoning for the Kundli. The third piece is around planetary war. In Hindi, it is known as Graha Yuddha. Now, what happens is if two planets are really sitting close to each other, so let's suppose Mars and Saturn, okay, or maybe Sun and Saturn, right, sitting very close to each other, maybe 11 degree, 11.5 degree, right, then it becomes a condition where they are in a planetary war, and trying to achieve a supremacy. And that is where kind of you have to look at signs also, in which sign they are positioned, who is in a friendly sign, who is in a enemy sign, and then what is their maybe other conditions as well, right? So all those, considering all those things, basically you should be able to kind of see that which planet will come at the top. Now how to kind of decipher it? Basically you can look at latitude, longitude. So longitude is how you consider it. So maybe some planet is at 3 degree, the other planet is at 4 degrees, so the one with 4 degrees will be the one that will win this entire war, right? So that is how it is positioned. Or maybe Saturn is sitting with a particular planet, then Saturn will kind of be having the upper hand. Yeah. If let's say we can imagine another condition, if let's say we have Venus at 15 degrees, 33 minutes. Yeah. And Mars again at 14 degrees, 02 minutes. Then the condition is basically Mars is malefic here, naturally malefic and stronger in these two. Then that is also you will have to consider the planets as well, their nature, and then kind of tweak how you are going to decipher the results. Okay. Now, when it comes to sun and moon, we do not kind of apply planetary war on sun and moon, right? Rahu and Ketu are also shadow planets, so they are kind of exempt from this entire scenario. So, kind of sun and moon, you can remove from this entire planetary war aspect. Rahu and Ketu, and then Uranus, Neptune, we are not considering. So we have basically five planets where we need to consider this. So Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Yeah. Okay. So there are going to be kind of example videos on all these things. In future, I'll be making all those, and this is what we have covered for now. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching.